today's digital world, cybersecurity is more than just a buzzword, it's a necessity. With businesses and individuals relying heavily on technology, the risks associated with cyber threats have grown exponentially. Cybersecurity regulations are designed to protect sensitive information, maintain trust, and ensure the smooth operation of digital services. Understanding these regulations is crucial for anyone who interacts with digital systems, whether you're a business owner, employee, or everyday user. In this video, we'll break down the essentials of cybersecurity regulations, why they exist, and how they impact our daily lives. Let's start by exploring the core reasons behind these rules. Cybersecurity regulations are laws and guidelines created to safeguard digital information and systems. These rules set standards for how organizations should protect data, respond to breaches, and report incidents. The goal is to minimize risks and ensure that everyone follows best practices. Regulations can be international, national, or industry-specific, and they often evolve to keep up with new threats. By understanding what these regulations entail, organizations can better prepare for compliance and avoid costly penalties. Next, let's look at some of the most common types of cybersecurity regulations you might encounter. Around the world, different countries have established their own cybersecurity standards. For example, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, sets strict rules for handling personal data. In the United States, there are laws like HIPAA for healthcare and GLBA for financial institutions. These standards often overlap but can have unique requirements depending on the region or industry. Staying informed about global regulations is essential for businesses operating internationally. Understanding these differences helps organizations avoid legal trouble and maintain customer trust. Now, let's dive into some key regulations in more detail. General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, is one of the most well-known cybersecurity regulations. It applies to any organization that handles the personal data of EU citizens, regardless of where the company is based. GDPR emphasizes transparency, user consent, and the right to access or delete personal data. Violations can result in hefty fines, making compliance a top priority for businesses. GDPR has influenced privacy laws worldwide, setting a high standard for data protection. Next, we'll look at how the United States approaches cybersecurity regulations. The United States' cybersecurity regulations are often industry-specific. For example, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, protects medical information, while the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GLBA, secures financial data. There are also state-level laws such as the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, which gives residents more control over their personal information. These laws require organizations to implement safeguards, notify users of breaches, and maintain detailed records. Understanding which laws apply to your business is crucial for compliance. Next, let's explore the key principles behind these regulations. Most cybersecurity regulations are built on a few core principles. These include confidentiality, integrity, and availability, often referred to as the CIA triad. Confidentiality ensures that sensitive information is only accessible to authorized individuals. Integrity means that data remains accurate and unaltered. Availability guarantees that information and systems are accessible when needed. By focusing on these principles, regulations aim to create a secure digital environment for everyone. Next, we'll discuss the importance of risk assessments in meeting regulatory requirements. Key requirement in many cybersecurity regulations is conducting regular risk assessments. This process involves identifying potential threats, evaluating vulnerabilities, and determining the impact of possible incidents. Risk assessments help organizations prioritize their security efforts and allocate resources effectively. By understanding where the greatest risks lie, companies can implement targeted controls to reduce the likelihood of breaches. Regular assessments also demonstrate compliance with regulatory standards. Next, let's look at how organizations can implement effective security controls. Security controls are the measures organizations put in place to protect their systems and data. These can include technical solutions like firewalls and encryption, as well as administrative actions such as employee training and access management. Regulations often specify which controls are required or recommended. By implementing strong security controls, organizations can reduce the risk of cyber incidents and show regulators that they take compliance seriously. Next, we'll discuss the importance of incident response plans in regulatory frameworks. Incident response plan outlines how an organization will react to a cybersecurity breach or attack. Regulations often require companies to have these plans in place to minimize damage and recover quickly. A good plan includes steps for detecting incidents, containing threats, eradicating malicious activity, and restoring normal operations. It also covers communication with stakeholders and regulatory authorities. Regularly testing and updating the plan ensures it remains effective. Next, let's explore the role of employee training in regulatory compliance. Human error is one of the leading causes of cybersecurity incidents. That's why regulations often require organizations to provide regular training for employees. Training programs teach staff how to recognize phishing attempts, use strong passwords, and follow security protocols. By raising awareness, companies can reduce the risk of accidental breaches and create a culture of security. Well-trained employees are a critical line of defense against cyber threats. Next, we'll look at the importance of access controls in regulatory compliance. Access controls are policies and technologies that restrict who can view or use certain information. Regulations often require organizations to implement these controls to prevent unauthorized access. This can include password policies, multi-factor authentication, and role-based permissions. By limiting access to sensitive data, companies can reduce the risk of internal and external threats. effective access controls are a cornerstone of regulatory compliance. Next, let's discuss the importance of regular audits and monitoring. Regular audits and continuous monitoring are essential for maintaining compliance with cybersecurity regulations. Audits involve reviewing security policies, procedures, and controls to ensure they meet regulatory standards. Monitoring helps organizations detect suspicious activity and respond quickly to potential threats. By conducting regular audits and monitoring, companies can identify weaknesses and make improvements before regulators step in. This proactive approach not only helps with compliance but also strengthens overall security. Next, let's explore the role of data encryption in regulatory frameworks. Data encryption is a common requirement in many cybersecurity regulations. Encryption transforms information into a secure format that can only be read by authorized users. This protects sensitive data from being accessed or stolen during a breach. Regulations may specify which types of data must be encrypted and what encryption standards to use. By implementing strong encryption, organizations can safeguard their information and demonstrate compliance. Next, we'll discuss the importance of data breach notification requirements. When a data breach occurs, regulations often require organizations to notify affected individuals and regulatory authorities within a specific timeframe. These rules are designed to ensure transparency and help people take steps to protect themselves. Notification requirements vary by regulation, but they typically include details about the breach, what information was compromised, and what actions are being taken. Prompt notification can help minimize the impact of a breach and maintain trust. Next, let's look at the penalties for noncompliance with cybersecurity regulations. Failing to comply with cybersecurity regulations can result in severe penalties. These may include hefty fines, legal action, and reputational damage. For example, under GDPR, organizations can be fined up to 4% of their annual global turnover. Noncompliance can also lead to loss of customer trust and business opportunities. That's why it's essential for organizations to understand their obligations and take compliance seriously. Next, we'll discuss how to stay updated with changing regulations. Cybersecurity regulations are constantly evolving to address new threats and technologies. Organizations must stay informed about changes to ensure ongoing compliance. This can involve subscribing to regulatory updates, attending industry conferences, and consulting with legal experts. Regularly reviewing and updating security policies helps organizations adapt to new requirements. Staying proactive not only helps with compliance, but also strengthens overall security posture. Next, let's look at the role of third-party vendors in regulatory compliance. Many organizations rely on third-party vendors for services like cloud storage, payment processing, or IT support. Regulations often require companies to ensure that their vendors also comply with cybersecurity standards. This means conducting due diligence, reviewing contracts, and monitoring vendor performance. Failing to manage third-party risks can lead to regulatory violations and security breaches. By working closely with vendors, organizations can strengthen their security and maintain compliance. Next, we'll discuss the importance of documentation in regulatory frameworks. Proper documentation is a cornerstone of regulatory compliance. Organizations must keep detailed records of security policies, risk assessments, incident response plans, and training activities. Documentation provides evidence of compliance during audits and investigations. It also helps organizations track progress and identify areas for improvement. Keeping records up to date ensures that organizations can respond quickly to regulatory requests. Next, let's explore the role of privacy by design in cybersecurity regulations. Privacy by design is a principle that requires organizations to consider privacy and security from the outset of any project. Regulations like GDPR emphasize this approach, encouraging companies to build security into their systems and processes. This means assessing risks, implementing safeguards, and regularly reviewing practices throughout the lifecycle of a product or service. By prioritizing privacy from the start, organizations can reduce the risk of breaches and ensure compliance. Next, we'll discuss the concept of data minimization in regulatory frameworks. Data minimization is a key concept in many cybersecurity regulations. It means collecting and retaining only the data that is necessary for a specific purpose. By limiting the amount of personal information stored, organizations can reduce the risk of breaches and simplify compliance efforts. Regulations may require companies to justify why they collect certain data and how long they keep it. Practicing data minimization helps protect user privacy and supports regulatory compliance. Next, let's look at the importance of user consent in data protection. Obtaining user consent is a fundamental requirement in many cybersecurity regulations, especially those related to personal data. Organizations must clearly explain what data they collect, how it will be used, and obtain explicit permission from users. Consent must be freely given, specific, informed, and revocable at any time. This empowers individuals to control their personal information and builds trust between users and organizations. Next, we'll discuss the right to access incorrect personal data. New regulations grant individuals the right to access their personal data and request corrections if it's inaccurate. Organizations must provide users with a way to view, update, or delete their information upon request. This transparency helps build trust and ensures that data remains accurate and up to date. Failing to honor these rights can result in regulatory penalties and reputational harm. Next, let's look at the concept of data portability in cybersecurity regulation. Data portability is the right of individuals to obtain and reuse their personal data across different services. Regulations like GDPR require organizations to provide data in a structured, commonly used format upon request. This empowers users to switch providers easily and promotes competition. Ensuring data portability can be technically challenging, but it's an important aspect of regulatory compliance. Next, we'll discuss the right to be forgotten and its implication. Right to be forgotten allows individuals to request the deletion of their personal data under certain circumstances. This principle is enshrined in regulations like GDPR and is designed to give people more control over their digital footprint. Organizations must have processes in place to respond to these requests promptly and securely. Balancing the right to be forgotten with other legal obligations can be complex, but it's a key part of modern data protection. Next, let's look at the role of cybersecurity frameworks in regulatory compliance. Cybersecurity frameworks provide structured guidelines for managing security risks and achieving regulatory compliance. Popular frameworks include NIST, ISO IEC 27001, and CIS controls. These frameworks help organizations identify risks, implement controls, and measure progress. While not always legally required, following a recognized framework can simplify compliance and improve overall security. Next, we'll discuss the importance of leadership and governance in cybersecurity compliance. Strong leadership and governance are essential for effective cybersecurity compliance. Senior management must set the tone by prioritizing security and allocating resources. Governance structures such as security committees and designated officers help oversee compliance efforts. Clear policies, regular reporting, and accountability ensure that everyone understands their responsibilities. Leadership commitment is often scrutinized during regulatory audit. Next, let's explore the role of continuous improvement in cybersecurity compliance. Cybersecurity is not a one-time effort, it's an ongoing process. Regulations encourage organizations to continuously review and improve their security measures. This includes regular risk assessments, updating policies, and adopting new technologies. Continuous improvement helps organizations stay ahead of emerging threats and maintain compliance. By fostering a culture of learning and adaptation, companies can better protect their data and reputation. Next, let's discuss the importance of reporting and transparency in regulatory frameworks. Transparency is a key requirement in many cybersecurity regulations. Organizations must report security incidents, breaches, and compliance status to regulators and, in some cases, the public. Transparent reporting builds trust and demonstrates accountability. It also helps regulators identify trends and improve policies. Failing to report incidents can result in penalties and loss of reputation. Next, we'll look at the challenges organizations face in achieving regulatory compliance. Achieving and maintaining compliance with cybersecurity regulations can be challenging. Organizations often face complex requirements, limited resources, and evolving threats. Keeping up with changing laws and ensuring that all employees understand their responsibilities requires ongoing effort. Small businesses in particular may struggle with the costs and expertise needed for compliance. Despite these challenges, investing in compliance is essential for long-term success. Next, let's discuss the benefits of regulatory compliance beyond avoiding penalties. Complying with cybersecurity regulations offers many benefits beyond avoiding fines. It helps protect sensitive data, builds customer trust, and enhances an organization's reputation. Strong security practices can also improve operational efficiency and reduce the risk of costly breaches. By demonstrating a commitment to compliance, companies can attract new customers and business partners. Next, we'll look at how to create a compliance roadmap for your organization. Compliance roadmap is a strategic plan that outlines the steps an organization will take to meet regulatory requirements. It includes identifying applicable laws, assessing current practices, setting goals, and assigning responsibilities. A clear roadmap helps organizations stay organized and track progress. Regularly reviewing and updating the roadmap ensures that compliance efforts remain effective. Next, let's discuss the importance of involving all stakeholders in the compliance process. Successful compliance requires the involvement of all stakeholders, including management, IT staff, legal teams, and employees. Each group plays a vital role in implementing and maintaining security measures. Regular communication and collaboration help ensure that everyone understands their responsibilities and stays informed about changes. Engaging stakeholders also fosters a culture of security and accountability. Next, we'll explore the role of technology in supporting compliance efforts. Technology plays a crucial role in achieving and maintaining cybersecurity compliance. Automated tools can help with risk assessments, monitoring, reporting, and incident response. Security solutions like firewalls, encryption, and access controls are essential for protecting data. Choosing the right technology can streamline compliance efforts and reduce manual workload. However, it's important to regularly review and update technology to address new threats. Next, let's discuss the importance of vendor management in compliance. Managing vendors is a critical part of cybersecurity compliance. Organizations must assess the security practices of their vendors, include compliance requirements in contracts, and monitor ongoing performance. Regular reviews and audits help ensure that vendors meet regulatory standards. Effective vendor management reduces the risk of third-party breaches and supports overall compliance efforts. Next, we'll look at the importance of incident reporting and response. Timely incident reporting and effective response are essential for regulatory compliance. Organizations must have clear procedures for identifying, reporting, and managing security incidents. This includes notifying regulators and affected individuals as required by law. Regularly testing and updating incident response plans ensures readiness. Quick and transparent response helps minimize damage and maintain trust. Next, let's discuss the importance of ongoing employee education in compliance. Cybersecurity threats are constantly evolving, so employee education must be ongoing. Regular training sessions keep staff informed about new risks, regulations, and best practices. Interactive workshops, simulations, and online courses can make training more engaging. Well-educated employees are better equipped to recognize threats and follow security protocols. Ongoing education supports a culture of compliance and reduces the risk of human error. Next, we'll look at the role of audits in maintaining compliance. Audits are a key tool for verifying compliance with cybersecurity regulations. Internal and external audits assess whether security controls are effective and policies are being followed. Audit findings help organizations identify gaps and take corrective action. Preparing for audits involves maintaining thorough documentation and being ready to demonstrate compliance. Regular audits not only satisfy regulatory requirements, but also improve overall security. Next, let's discuss the importance of communication in compliance efforts. Clear communication is essential for successful cybersecurity compliance. Organizations must ensure that policies, procedures, and expectations are communicated to all employees. Regular updates about regulatory changes and security incidents keep everyone informed. Open channels for reporting concerns or incidents encourage a proactive approach to security. Effective communication supports a culture of transparency and accountability. Next, we'll explore the role of leadership in driving compliance initiatives. Leadership plays a pivotal role in driving cybersecurity compliance. Executives and managers must set the tone by prioritizing security, allocating resources, and holding teams accountable. Visible leadership commitment encourages employees to take compliance seriously. Leaders should also stay informed about regulatory changes and support ongoing training. By championing compliance, leaders help create a secure and resilient organization. Next, let's discuss how to measure the effectiveness of compliance programs. Measuring the effectiveness of compliance programs is essential for continuous improvement. Organizations can use key performance indicators, KPIs, audit results, and incident reports to assess progress. Regular reviews help identify areas for improvement and ensure that compliance efforts are aligned with business goals. Effective measurement supports informed decision-making and demonstrates accountability to regulators. Next, we'll look at the future of cybersecurity regulations and emerging trends. Cybersecurity regulations will continue to evolve as new technologies and threats emerge. Trends such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things are shaping the regulatory landscape. Organizations must stay agile and adapt to changing requirements. Proactive compliance strategies and a commitment to security will be essential for success in the future. Next, let's summarize the key takeaways from this video. Understanding cybersecurity regulations is essential for protecting data, maintaining trust, and avoiding penalties. Key principles include confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Compliance requires ongoing effort, strong leadership, and the involvement of all stakeholders. By staying informed and proactive, organizations can navigate the complex regulatory landscape and build a secure digital future. Next, let's look at some practical steps you can take to start your compliance journey. Begin your compliance journey. Start by identifying which regulations apply to your organization. Conduct a risk assessment to understand your current security posture. Develop and implement policies, provide employee training, and establish incident response plans. Regularly review and update your practices to stay aligned with regulatory changes. Remember, compliance is an ongoing process that requires commitment and collaboration. Next, let's discuss resources that can help you stay informed about cybersecurity regulations. There are many resources available to help organizations stay informed about cybersecurity regulations. Government websites, industry associations, and professional consultants can provide guidance and updates. Online courses, webinars, and conferences offer opportunities to learn from experts and network with peers. Leveraging these resources can make compliance more manageable and effective. Next, let's wrap up with a final summary of what we've covered. Cybersecurity regulations are a vital part of the digital landscape. By understanding and complying with these rules, organizations can protect their data, build trust, and avoid costly penalties. Compliance is an ongoing journey that requires vigilance, collaboration, and a commitment to continuous improvement. Stay informed, involve your team, and make security a top priority. With the right approach, you can navigate the complexities of cybersecurity regulations and create a safer digital environment for everyone.